Welcome back, Tacoma. I'm delighted to have you back. This segment is spectacular. I am so excited to unveil that we have the Tacoma Little Theatre experts in the house on our couch, and they're going to talk to us a little bit today about the new production that's coming, the new show, Jesus Christ Superstar. So what I would like to do is talk with Chris Serface first. You are the Managing Artistic Director of Tacoma Little Theatre. Welcome. So glad you could be with us. And then Lexi, you're the Director of Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm so anxious to talk to you and all the artistic brilliance behind the show. And of course, this is pretty incredible. We actually have Loucas T with us. I'm confident you have better things to be doing, much like probably rehearsing your lines, but I'm delighted that you took time to be with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So Chris, we can always count on Tacoma Little Theatre for providing the best in live entertainment here in Tacoma. There's no need to go outside of the Tacoma city limits. So tell us a little bit about why you chose Jesus Christ Superstar.
We're always looking for new and fun ways to engage our audiences. And as I was getting ready to program for our 99th season, I started looking back at the history of shows that have been produced in Tacoma, and there was a big gap in one of the shows, and that was Jesus Christ Superstar. It hadn't been produced locally. So we decided that it was time for us to mount that production and bring the story to our theater right around the time of we actually close on Easter Day. So that's going to be quite a fun way to end the show.
I think it's a spectacular offering, particularly at this time of the year. So I'm certain this is a pretty big cast. So talk to us a little bit about the cast, and are they Tacoma actors? Are there some from outside? Walk us through that.
We open up our auditions to everybody, so anybody who wants to be a part of theater is accessible to them. We have quite a few actors from Tacoma, the vast majority of them are, but we also pull from Seattle, across the bridge into the harbor, and down to Olympia. So we've opened up quite a nice radius where we have actors coming in and working with us.
And how did you, I'm going to turn to you now, Lexi, how did you two even stumble upon this together? And then Lexi, obviously your artistic direction with the show, how did that start? What was the impetus for it?
Well, Chris is a dear friend of mine, and we've worked together for many years. And so I think last year when I was choreographing for a show he was directing at the theater, he kind of said, "Hey, I want to do this show next year." And I love the story of this show. And so it's easy to say yes to this man.
It's always trying to find those directors who will do wonderful things with the project and a story. And having known Lexi and her background, I thought she could do great things with Jesus Christ Superstar.
And it's really important from being the managing director of the theater to actually being the director, to have that type of collaboration in terms of allowing you the artistic license to interpret Jesus Christ Superstar as you see it through your eyes and bringing it to the community. So in speaking about that, Jesus Christ Superstar, it is international. You can go throughout the world and actually see the various productions of it. But talk to us a little bit about what makes this particular show unique here to us in Tacoma, but more importantly, personally to you.
Yeah, you know, I think the name Jesus is famous throughout the world. We all have had an encounter with that name, whether you are a Christian, whether you're not a Christian. And it's that name and the story of Jesus has inspired a lot of great art throughout the centuries. So for me, approaching it in 2018, it was important to me to look back at what the writer's intent was when they put this show together, and it was to interpret from the point of view of Judas what the Passion story was like, and to interpret it from their standpoint in the 1970s. And so I wanted to go and examine this story anew from our 2018 worldview. So that's kind of the jumping off place for us. So it is done in modern dress, and we're really have posed the question to ourselves, the entire cast and creative team, what might this story be like if it happened today? And what would Judas's view on the story be today if he, you know, if you were part of a persecuted group under a government that was oppressive to your group, and you had this leader emerge that was touting ideals that you believed in, but maybe was getting to a place where it could be kind of dangerous for your group, what would you do? Would you sell them out, or would you keep going? And yeah, that's kind of where we're going.
And I
with
think
it.
that's so relevant today is really to bring everybody into the theater, regardless of which generation you've grown up into, what age you are today. I think really making it relevant and connecting with the audience so that they personally take something out of it and then walk away with something in particular. So I think that's great. And then a show of this magnitude, certainly you've had to come across some challenges. Could you maybe give us a few of the challenges that you've overcome?
Yeah, one of the biggest ones is that this show was originally produced as a concept album. So it was just the music, and that's what we get. There is no script. We just get sheet music for this show. So there's a lot of places where we have to figure out what is the story that is going on here, and how do we make it clear what the story is in the moments where there's just instrumental music and nothing on paper to tell us what's going on. So that's been probably one of the bigger challenges.
Truly relying on your artistic talent and abilities. I am so excited to see the show. And like I said, I'm sure, Loucas, you have more important things to do, so thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I'm really curious. I know that you're from Tacoma, you're homegrown, which I absolutely love. Tell us a little bit about your theater background and what drew you to auditioning for Jesus Christ Superstar.
Well, I got into theater when I got to college. I'm from Tacoma originally, and I got to see a lot of great theater in Tacoma, especially at Tacoma Little Theatre, obviously. But I didn't get the opportunities to do theater until I got to college, and once I was there, I just fell in love with the art form. And specifically, this show brought me into this art form. I saw this movie, Jesus Christ Superstar. It was made in the 70s. I saw it when I was a child, and it just blew my mind. I had never seen anything like this, and I grew up hearing the story of Jesus, but I never got to see it from a viewpoint I understood. And finally, there it was. It was right there in front of me. And I think pairing this story with music for some educates them on it a little bit better. And for me, that's what this show is.
That is amazing. I think you have a special calling to it. I really do. And you said you even went to Bellarmine Prep. So it's just amazing how you're kind of giving back to the community in a way that you never thought that you would, and to really impact many people's lives. So tell us a little bit about the nerve-wracking experience of actually auditioning for the show.
I was extremely nervous auditioning for this show. Honestly, because once again, this show is a show I grew up listening to and hearing. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, and you've heard other renditions and you've seen other renditions of even the parts you're going in for. And I had to tell myself, look in the mirror, just be you. And you know, we have an amazing director who made it very easy for me in the audition. She was soft enough with me and allowed me to play. And you know, now we're here, and I'm excited.
I'm excited for you, and I'm most excited by what we as viewers will be able to garner from actually coming and seeing you in the show. That's amazing. I'm excited. This is a really great calling for you. So Chris, back to you. So you're in the 99th season right now. We're quickly approaching our 100th season this fall. What's in store for Tacoma Little Theatre? What do you have on the hopper?
There are a lot of fun things coming up for the 100th season. We will announce what those shows will be on opening night of Jesus Christ Superstar. It's when we start selling season tickets for renewals at that point. And every show that we do next year will be a show that we've done over the past 100 years. We go as far back as to one of the shows we first did in 1924. So there's your sneak of, if you want to go try and figure out what show it is, you certainly can do that. But each one we've done in the year. So we're celebrating our history. And that puts us forward to looking for such great things in the future with our 101st season up to our 200th season, because we don't plan on going anywhere. Also with our 100th season, we listen to what our patrons say, and they've always told us what they would like to see more of in the theater, and so we do our best to help with that. We recently sealed a parking deal, so we actually have parking for our theater now for season ticket holders, and we might open that up once we figure out how exactly it's working. Then also, you've complained about our chairs, which I think probably are around in the first season, but starting with Jesus Christ Superstar, we're actually launching an auditorium upgrade program. And so we will have some sample seats for you to sit in the lobby and experience what the new seating will be like as we enter into our next 100 years.
I absolutely love it. There's so much in store at Tacoma Little Theatre, and I guess you have to go and see Jesus Christ Superstar to understand what's coming forward in the 100th season. So you also mentioned too earlier that you have some youth programming and activities because you are a year-round operating facility. So what does that look like?
Correct.
How can young kids be involved?
Theater education is very important because it trains our next generation of theater goers. And so with our education programs, we have an after-school program, which is every day after school. There's different programs. We also have a homeschool program, a junior actors, which is 4 to 6 year olds. We also have an improv program and dance classes, and they work all week long. All of the information is on our website. And we're in the middle of our winter session. We'll start up spring in a few months, and there's going to be registrations for that starting mid-March.
I absolutely love the work that you're offering and providing to everyone in our community, because I think just like in Lucas's situation, you never know if you have it inside of you unless you try, and to have these readily available opportunities through Tacoma Little Theatre is we're growing thespians, and these thespians will speak and continue to go on internationally and continue to give Tacoma its name. So I commend you all for all the good work that you're doing.
Thank you.
So clearly there's a lot of work that's coming up and a lot of improvements being made, and certainly the theater relies on a lot of sponsors and corporations to help. So who would you like us to recognize for being instrumental in where the theater is today and what's coming, and the support that they've given to the theater?
Number one, our patrons. They're the most important aspect. We are a community theater. We survive through the support of our community. And so those patrons who've been there for 1 year to 50 years to beyond, we have some patrons who've been there longer than that. They are a large part of why we're there. We also have great year-round sponsors. We have Glassworks, the Tacoma News Tribune, and the City of Tacoma Anchor Fund program, which has been instrumental. We're so fortunate to be a part of those.
That's so great. And so to make sure that we inform our viewers as to when they can see Jesus Christ Superstar, Lexi, can you really quickly, in about 15 seconds or less, tell us what we can expect as far as buying tickets and when?
Yep, we're open March 9th through April 1st, Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30, Sundays at 2 o'clock. You can call the theater or you can go online, TacomaLittleTheater.com.
Thank you so much for bringing this incredible opportunity to us here in Tacoma. I will buy my tickets, and I look forward to seeing you on stage, Lucas. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. And stay right there with us. We actually are going to continue to focus on youth opportunities, and we're going to bring in our friends with Goodwill and focus on the Youth Build program. Stay where you are.